Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your June 2016 general readings. As you can see, I have added a headset after dealing with issue after issue with my volume and actually getting it worked on. It just doesn't seem like it can be resolved any other way than adding a headset. So hopefully it's not too loud for you now. Thank you so much for your patience, family. So let's move forward. These are the June General 2016 readings. They are general readings, so they of course will not apply or resonate the same for everyone who watches because there's so many of you with such different and varied backgrounds and stories. Don't forget to check your rising and your moon sign as well, because there are some months in readings where they will resonate more predictably for you than your sun sign, and some months in readings where other readers may resonate for you more predictably than the ones you typically watch. There's a variety of great readers out there on YouTube, so shop around, find the ones that you connect with the best, resonate with the most, and it's all about you getting everything that you need to get as clear a picture as possible. And for those of you who include me in that group, my gratitude and thanks. And thank you so very much for continuing to watch and listen and subscribe and comment on my channel. I love reading the feedback. Don't stop the comments. I read every single one of them, the ones you put directly on the YouTube videos and the ones you send via email. Thank you so much for taking the time for that and to write such wonderful feedback and for your love and support. Thank you so very much. It is so gratifying and reassuring to see the family growing every day. Thank you for those of you who follow. And for those of you who continue to reach out for personal readings, thank you to you as well. Thank you for the trust in my intuiting the cards for you and for the small place in your life that you allow me to have, however momentarily. And for those of you who are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more information in detail and my contact information, which is Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I do readings full time, and I'm pretty good at getting back with you and scheduling readings for you within about a week is my current turnaround time, anywhere from 1 to 7 days, but almost always within a week. So I would be delighted to work with you. Send me an email and we will go from there. So let's get right into this. I am using the Gilded Tarot deck, my beloved Gilded Tarot deck, and this reading is for Cancer for June 2016. Cancer, June 2016. What does the beautiful month of June hold for the lovely watery crabs? Cancer. At least it's beautiful here. I live in Northern California, and while we've gotten the occasional shower, the weather is bright and beautiful and sunshiny. So Cancer, show me the energies for Cancer, June 2016. Cancer the crab, lovely, emotional, beautiful Cancers. What does June 2016 hold for you? Okay. We begin with the Two of Cups. Beautiful way to start. Followed by the Five of Swords, the Four of Cups, followed by the Sun, the Page of Swords, followed by the Hermit, and the Two of Wands, followed by the Eight of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card representing the overall feeling and general theme of the reading is the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Let's just take a look, Cancer. Hmm. Okay, let's begin. I feel like this is going to, first of all, I feel like this is primarily oriented around relationships and about actually somebody coming back or somebody trying to make amends or reconcile in some way. So, at this reading, if those of you for whom this doesn't resonate for you, you may want to move on to your rising and your moon sign. I can sometimes channel the bulk of the general energy in other sectors of your life, but sometimes it's just sometimes I get a variety of energies and stories, and sometimes I just get one general loud theme, and I kind of have to go with that. And this is one of those readings. So I'm seeing it primarily in regards to a relationship of some kind. So let's begin. I was just prefacing that in case you're not looking for a relationship reading. This looks to be kind of oriented that way. So we find ourselves at the beginning of June 2016, Cancer, with the Two of Cups, followed by the Five of Swords. I'm actually going to touch on the crowning card first because I feel like this represents an actual individual that's kind of coming back or coming up. And I feel like that's kind of what this reading is centered on. So I'm going to start with the crowning card, which I usually end with. The crowning card is the King of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is governed by the element of Earth. So, Pentacles is a suit that's all about things in our earthly, tangible, material environment. And most often, Pentacles represents things like money, finances, property, resources, assets, etc., job, career, physical, tangible things we can see and touch and feel. And you can apply these same energies in the sector of spirituality or love and romance. It's really about tangible results, um, visible results of the investment of our energy or some things, just tangible, visible results of things. The King of Pentacles, I'm actually reading this as a specific individual. So, this King of Pentacles would represent kings and queens having represented people who have reached the mastery of their suit or the full culmination of all the traits and qualities of that suit. And this king has reached the mastery of his suit, which is a suit of pentacles. So, this would represent somebody, probably an older, more mature and reflective individual, although it doesn't necessarily have to reflect in chronological age. um, this could be like a very self-aware young person, but this King of Pentacles has walked a fair road of life, which is why he's graduated from page, knight to king. This is someone who's very good with that earthly, material, tangible world, the world of pentacles. This is somebody who's probably financially comfortable, if not well off. Somebody who's very good at navigating the world of dollars and cents and just kind of navigating the day-to-day practical, material aspects of life. This would be somebody who has built up a pretty good, solid, stable foundation for themselves, is enjoying the physical comforts and luxuries of what he's worked for, likes to share them, is generous, feels like everyone ought to have the same opportunities that he's had. Very good provider feel, solid, reliable, dependable. All those lovely earth element qualities. In terms of love and romance, this would make, good husband material, good father, good boyfriend, good friend, someone who really has your back, somebody who's a good listener, just an all around kind of good guy. And he's in the upright position. Now, I feel Cancer like this is representing an actual person that I feel is coming back into your life. I feel like something happened. This is so, I can usually apply these energies to other sectors, but it feels so specifically oriented to a handful of you. It must be really important that you hear this. I feel like this represents a person who is coming back into your life or is still in your sphere, and he's trying to there's a sense of trying to make amends, a reconciliatory energy or a closure kind of energy. This is somebody that you were close to, that you had a close connected relationship to. Now, for some of you, this is going to represent somebody that you were in a love romance relationship with. And for some of you, it's going to represent someone that you thought was your soulmate or was your soulmate or is your soulmate or something of that sort. But however kind of relationship it was, whether it's friends, family, lover, husband, boyfriend, this could represent a female too for those of you who are men who are watching. Um, Somebody that you were closely connected to, and something happened between the two of you. And I feel like they did something that made you feel betrayed or caused some kind of rift or break. Um, this could be the opposite side too. It could be somebody with whom you had this relationship with, and you're the one that did something, made a wrong choice, or hurt them in some way, and there was a break of some kind. I feel like either this is the month you are going to them, or this is the month, June 2016, that they are coming to you. Trying to either reconcile or bring closure to it, make amends somehow. I'm feeling that energy very strongly. And this could represent an actual earth sign person, sun, moon, or rising, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone who strongly manifests the character traits of an earth sign. I feel like this is the month, June 2016, Cancer, that they are coming back, or you are going to them to try and reconcile, bring some closure to something, make amends in some way, or bring something back together again. Now, we get into the bulk of the reading. We start with the Two of Cups, followed by the Five of Swords. So the Two of Cups, Cups is governed by the element of water. So Cups is a suit that's all about the watery, mercurial, fluid world of emotions and feelings. It can also represent love and relationships. Now, this card is universally referred to as the soulmate card, or the twin flame card, as it's also called. It's a card that represents the union between two people. That's kind of a karmic thread, divine, meant to be sort of thing. You can apply the same energy in business or career, the merging of two companies, finding the perfect job. Its fundamental definition is the coming together in a perfect way, in a perfect fit between two people, two entities, two somethings, in a way that's more than just a good material visible fit. For people in relationships, this would represent not just a physical chemical attraction. And for some of you, this relationship isn't going to have been based on that anyway, but it's another very close connected relationship, like a sibling, a friend, etc. This represents a meeting of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit as well. Very connected, very close, kind of karmic thread connecting the two of you. Now, for some of you, this King of Pentacles individual is going to represent somebody is your soulmate, or somebody that you thought believed was your soulmate, or they believed you were their soulmate. And that's probably or possibly one of the foundational reasons of them coming back to you, or you going to them to try and reconcile, bring closure, make amends, kind of heal that which was broken. And I feel like they're coming back to you, or you coming to them, in some way was a type of a victory, this coming back together again. For some of you, this person is going to come back into your life kind of unexpectedly out of the blue. Now, that Two of Cups is paired with the Five of Swords. So swords is governed by the element of air. And so swords is a suit all about our words and our ideas, our thoughts, our mindsets, our perspectives, our outlook, our belief systems, how we look at things. It's a mental and cerebral suit. And it's all about what goes on up here. Now, the Five of Swords is technically a card of victory. And you're going to this person coming to you could represent kind of a minor victory of sorts, or feel like that temporarily. But this is a temporary victory, and it represents a rather shallow one. And it leaves you wondering if it's actually even real, or if it's worth investing in. Um, you can see on this card that this man has just finished a battle. His foes or opponents or enemies are obviously defeated on the ground behind him. He has gathered up all of their weapons, and he is holding his own aloft in victory. But if you look, he doesn't look particularly victorious. He doesn't look happy. He looks tired, exhausted, depleted, worn out, drained. He's wounded. He's bleeding from a cut on his forehead. Even the colors in this card are very grim. The scene is just very grim and kind of foreboding. And this card begs the question, was it worth it? Is it worth it? Is this something worth doing? And I think the month opens pretty straightforward, pretty simply that way, with this person coming up. And I am recording this at the end of May, so this could have happened, around the middle to the end of May, time being fluid. So roughly around that time. For some of you, again, close connected relationships, something happened, there was a rift, there was a break of some kind. They're coming back to you, you're going to them. There's some kind of meeting or attempt at reconciliation. It feels like a victory of some kind, a small victory, but you're not really sure at the end of the day if it's really worth doing, if it's worth investing in, if it's worth trying to fix or repair. And that's the energy we have around the first week of June. Now, moving forward, we have the Four of Cups. followed by the Sun. So the Four of Cups, I nickname a lot of the cards, and I sometimes refer to this card as the boredom or ingratitude card. It shows a man sitting in the grass, a young man reclining against a tree, and there are these three beautiful goblets on the grass next to him. And there's another beautiful one being offered to him out of the sky from this hand, almost as if it was a divine gift or a divine opportunity of some kind. But he's not showing too much excitement or enthusiasm either in what is beside him that he has, which looks quite beautiful, or in fact in what's being presented to him or offered to him in the form of a gift or an opportunity. And this can represent a feeling of boredom, a feeling of not really knowing what direction to go in, a feeling of I don't know if I want this, I don't know what's in, I don't know what's, I don't know what I don't know if I want what I have here. I don't know if I want what's in front of me. It can feel like you don't have a sense of purpose or direction. Almost an apathetic lethargy kind of feeling can accompany this card for some of you. And I feel like this is kind of the mindset the first couple of weeks in terms of how to deal with this closure situation, this reconciliation energy, and what to do, whether it's worth investing in, continuing in, trying to move ahead with it. Now, that Four of Cups is followed by the Sun card, which is a beautiful card, major arcana card. And it speaks of light, life, love, laughter, brightness. Think about all the things that the sun brings. It brings all of those things. It encourages things to grow. It illuminates that which is hidden. It makes bright that which is dark. It makes clear everything that was cloudy. And but there's a very uplifting light sense, a strong theme of fun with this card too, of having good times, of having better times. It's a card that can represent coming out of the dark into the light, and business and finance. If this were to represent, money being very tight, budget being very, very restrictive, this card could represent a loosening of that. And it's fundamentally it's about an uplifting of emotions, an uplifting period, a lightening period where there was challenge or struggle or darkness. It represents a lightening up, a lifting up of that energy. And I feel like paired with the Four of Cups, Cancer, this could play out a couple of different ways, as it always does. Um, that you're wanting something, that one of the reasons why you're questioning whether this is worth investing in or trying to fix or move ahead with is that you feel like it would be a lot of work or a lot of investment of something. And for some of you, you're just going to be like, I'm over this. I don't want to do this. It's going to require too much work. I want something easier. I want something more uplifting, lighter. For some of you, it's going to just be, again, considering whether or not this energy is possible to regain with this person or to move ahead and build with this person. It's going to play out a lot of different ways, but the strongest sensation I'm getting is just kind of a I don't know. I really just want to move into or stay into a period of my life that's light and positive, and this is kind of dredging up stuff from the past. So now we're at kind of around the middle of June 2016, of course, time being fluid, somewhere around there. And I feel like there's going to be some time spent to yourself, a kind of going within to kind of try to figure this out, what to do, what your truth is in this. We have the Page of Swords, followed by the Hermit. So the Page of Swords, swords again being that suit about our words and ideas. The Page of Swords, pages can represent, they're the youngest and least mature energies in the tarot. They can represent kind of a student apprenticeship, still having a lot to learn, or just being at the beginning of a path, learning a lot of things. And this would be new ideas, a new outlook, trying to get a fresh new perspective on something because it's the Page of Swords. Could represent messages and messengers. And for some of you, it could represent kind of getting a new outlook on something, a new perspective on something. The fundamental definition of the Page of Swords is figuring out what your truth is and speaking that truth. There's a strong theme of kind of speaking your own honor and integrity that comes with this card. This card can represent being faced with a challenge that requires you to seek out what your actual moral truth is in this situation, being really honest. What do I really want? And proceeding ahead with as much honor and integrity as possible, speaking your truth. Now, it's paired with the Hermit card, which is a major arcana card. And this card can represent a couple of different things or both. This card can represent having to take some time out, some time to yourself to kind of withdraw, maybe isolate a little bit, go within and kind of separate yourself from all the extraneous noise of the world to figure out what is your way through this. What is your truth? What is the right thing for you to do in this? The Hermit can also represent, in addition to that, in trying to find out what that truth is and find out the best and most integral way to walk through this, to draw on the culmination of your life experience so far to figure out what the best thing to do is, what the right path is here. You can see on this card there is this aged man walking across this narrow precipice, and he's depicted as aged, I think, because we often see older people as having a little more wisdom and insight and clarity when we do, simply because they've had more time to walk the road of life and more time to gain experience and wisdom. This man is holding up the light of this lantern to slowly, carefully pick his way through this path because it's very narrow and he could fall off the sides. Now, this lantern is symbolic of the culmination of his life's experience, his wisdom. He's using that to guide himself to know what to do in this on this road, which is what you're trying to do, I think, around the middle third week of June 2016, Cancer. What is your truth? What's the right thing to do? What's the moral thing to do? What is the authentic, true thing to do? Figuring that out and walking through it with as much truth and honor and integrity as you can, and holding to that truth. And I think that at or towards the end of June 2016, Cancer, I think a lot of you are going to make the choice to walk away from this, and that doesn't mean that you don't have some closure and that there isn't amends made and some closure made, but I think in terms of moving ahead with this person, I think that, and some of you are going to make the decision to move ahead again with this person, and that's fine too. I think the larger portion of you are going to make the decision to move on because ultimately it's not what you find fulfilling or satisfying, or you just don't want to try it again, because at or towards the end of June 2016 we have the Two of Wands followed by the Eight of Cups. So the Two of Wands. Wands is a suit that's governed by the element of fire and air. So it's a very dynamic combination, and the suit of wands is a very dynamic suit. And it's typically about change, movement, action, power, forward momentum. The suit of wands can represent career, creativity, artistic expression, things like that. It's about movement, though. It's a very active suit. The Two of Wands is a card that speaks of being at a crossroads and needing to make a decision on which path to go. And the path that he wants to take is the one that has the most potential and the most opportunity and potential for expansion and growth, because this is a card that represents expansion and growth. Um, it represents that, and there's an implication too that the path he's walked up to this crossroads has worked out pretty well for himself, and now he finds himself at a fork in the road with two different paths that he could take, trying to choose the right one, the one that's going to provide the most forward momentum for him, that's going to be the most healthy, the most positive, and again, expansion and growth moving forward. Now, the Two of Wands is paired with the Eight of Cups, that emotional suit. And the Eight of Cups is a card that speaks to walking away. This is not a decision-making card. This is the decision-making card. Which path do I choose? The Eight of Cups is a card of actually moving away because the decision has already been made, very definitively been made to walk away. Um, as you can see by this man's stance, his back is turned to us. He's dressed for travel. He has his hat on, his cloak on, his walking staff in his hand. He's already made the decision. He's leaving. He's just surveying the horizon and trying to figure out which road to take, but he's already made the decision to go. You can see on the ground behind this man, there's these eight cups. Some of them are upright and full, some of them are tipped over and spilled out. The implication being that he has tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of these cups. And while he may have found them satisfying or fulfilling uh, or entertaining at the time, ultimately, at the end of the day, they weren't really what he wanted. He didn't find his joy, his satisfaction, his fulfillment in them. or it didn't turn out the way that he wanted to. The Eight of Cups can speak of walking away with a strong sense of disappointment because something didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and you didn't find that it was really what was for you in an authentic sort of way. So I think Cancer, at or towards the end of June 2016, whatever this thing is, this relationship, this coming back together energy, this trying to make amends and closure and move forward together, some of you are going to make the decision to not move forward with this individual, no matter what kind of relationship it was. Some of you will make the decision to do that, and have faith that it won't end up in disappointment again. But I think the majority of you are at least the cards are indicating that you won't. But there is that, you know, I mean, we live in a free will zone. So at the end of the day, no matter what the cards point to, you're going to make the decisions that are best for you. And that combination of that Page of Swords and that Hermit is suggesting that you do exactly that, because only you really know what the right thing to do, which road to choose that's the best for you at the end of the day. And also, for those of you who do end up making the decision to not move forward with this person, that does not mean that amends still cannot be made and closure be achieved. So keep that in mind. So, a very specifically relationship oriented reading. I wish I could say that I could feel this energy is applying to other sectors, but this particular reading, this particular month, Cancer, this is just the only thing that's coming through to me. So, for those of you for whom it doesn't resonate, I'm sorry. Check your rising and your moon sign as well. And maybe look at Cancer for, some of the other readers as well. They may have something that resonates more predictably for you this month. So Cancer, there it is. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it's given you some food for thought and a little insight and guidance on what might lie ahead for a lot of you watching this. Thank you so very much for watching. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and you can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. And until I see you in a couple of weeks for the June 2016 mid-month readings, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks, Cancer, and I'll see you later. Bye.